Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Just Say Guay. I'm your host, George Guay. Today I'm joined by Owen Diodati, who is playing in the Cape Cod Baseball League right now with Wareham. Played 3 years at the University of Alabama and is now going to the University of Oregon. Owen, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here and glad to answer some questions.
For sure. So, does it really settle in that you're going to Oregon yet?
Yeah, obviously it's a big change. You're going from East Coast to West Coast, completely different environment, but I'm really excited about it. I obviously enjoyed my time at the University of Alabama, but I'm looking forward to something new, some new challenges, and I think we're gonna have a really good team at Oregon, and I'm really excited about it.
Definitely. So, let's just backtrack a bit. You're from Ontario. Could you just take me through, what the baseball culture was like there?
Yeah, so growing up, I played baseball and hockey. I did that until I was 15, and in my 10th grade year, I was drafted to the OHL to play hockey, and that's kind of when I had to make my decision as to what sport I was going to go with because it just became too much to play both still. So decided to go the baseball route, and um, you know once I decided to do that, it became a lot more serious for me. And I played for a summer team called the Great Lake Canadians, which was huge in my development. Uh, they kind of offered year round, training in Canada when it was hard to do that because of the weather. And so I did that, and then eventually made the Canadian junior national team, which was also huge in my development. I got to travel some pretty cool places, and from there, committed to Alabama, and now obviously going to Oregon.
Yeah, that's very impressive. You had the option of making both choices, and obviously the one that you made has worked out. Does it make it more awesome to see, what Toronto's doing as a city for sports? The World Cup's going to be there in about 4 years. They have probably the next best player in baseball, arguably Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Austin Matthews is doing what he's doing. Uh, they won the championship not too long ago with basketball. Is it really special to see all this coming together at once?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, growing up in Niagara Falls, it's only an hour from Toronto, so I was a Toronto sports fan, and in every sport there was, and it was just a hop and a skip to get to Toronto to watch games. So it's obviously really cool to see all my favorite teams growing up doing so well and having such exciting players. So yeah, it's awesome to say I'm from a place that's doing so well.
For sure. And like you said, you made the Canadian national team for your age, and you were a highly ranked player. What's the key to just wanting to keep improving? There's so many players you see out there who get those recognitions and early on and kind of shut it down in a way and think that, I am going to make it really far just based off where I am now. But obviously you had the drive to keep pushing with the sport.
Yeah, I mean, there's always someone better than you, and I think that's the way I like to look at it. Is you're always chasing someone, and obviously it's important to worry about yourself and focus on yourself. But you're always chasing someone and something. So when I accomplish one set of goals, I move on to the next one, and I really I really pride myself on staying motivated and working hard. So um, regardless of the accomplishments in the past, it's something to be proud of, but there's always something else to accomplish. And that's kind of the mindset I have.
Yeah, it's a great mindset, and it's what Alabama saw in you, and that's why they made the push to recruit you. So, if you just take me through what that process was like, it was before the pandemic happened, I assume, and what made you choose Alabama?
Yeah, so Alabama, the connection there was through the junior national team. Once I started playing for the junior national team, my director there kind of said, "Hey, man, like I really think you could play at the highest level." And obviously, Power Five baseball is that level. And so I started to get in talks with Alabama, and sure enough, after seeing the campus, talking to the coaches, I made the decision to go to Alabama. And obviously that June was a little unique because the MLB draft, and I had some tough decisions to make with my hometown team, the Blue Jays, early on in the draft. And so eventually I decided that, I really valued my education and wanted to go to school and get that experience. And so that's what I decided to do.
Yeah, and speaking of being a student athlete, you had a lot of success with that. But you're at a school like Alabama where the pressure is not just only on the baseball team to win because so many other teams are capable of winning and have won. Football, basketball seems to make a big run for men and women in March Madness. Does it make it more fun being at a school where so many teams are succeeding? Because I've interviewed a lot of athletes who their team really defines the athletic program at the school in terms of money bringing in and the success. Was it just a great experience to be at a school like that?
Yeah, it was awesome. When everyone's winning, it puts pressure on you to do well. And our athletics program there was obviously very good, headlined by football. So a winning culture is always important, whether that be at Alabama or Oregon. I think both programs have showed, just how, they exemplify what it is to be a winning program. And it sets a standard for all sports within a school. And that's something that I think can't be replicated unless you actually do it year in and year out.
Yeah, it's definitely that I'm sure was a factor for you in making your decision with Oregon. So, your first year at Alabama, it's the COVID year. You make the freshman All-American team. Just what's the key to making that happen? Just because, you know, everything's shut down in a way. College is not the same. Uh, your routine of life is very different. I went to Providence College and I know they were on a full stop with school being shut down. I'm not sure how it was in Alabama, but just what was the key to making that happen in just a weird year?
Yeah, obviously most of the playing we did was right before this pandemic hit, and so smaller sample size to say the least. But uh, being a freshman and doing well, I think, is all about one, believing in yourself, and two, just not putting too much pressure on yourself. When you're a freshman, it's kind of like playing with house money. Um, Everyone knows you're a freshman. So when you do well, it's like, oh wow, the freshman did well. So um, I was lucky enough that I had a good start to that season before the pandemic hit. But in terms of the pandemic, it changed everything. You had to find new ways to train, new ways to stay in shape until we could get back in facilities. So it took real motivation and drive to kind of be creative and find ways to push yourself in those times.
Yeah, for sure. And I think at times we saw, who really at times wanted to get better because I think everyone had the opportunity to, with their sport or just anything they do, shut it down. So take me through the Cape Cod Baseball League. You got the hat on right now. How did the Cape Cod Baseball League find you and how did you end up with Wareham?
Yeah, so I was actually supposed to go to Wareham after my freshman year, but the league was canceled because of the pandemic. And then I played with Wareham last summer as well. I played a full summer with them last summer, and usually in college baseball, your college coaches set that up. So they set that up for me last year, and then this year was a little more unique coming back to Wareham. I came here a little bit later. I wanted to get my school commitment out of the way, and so once I committed to Oregon, I got the itch to start playing again, and talked to some people I know in the organization, and one thing led to another, and I came here and hit the ground running and got in with the team, and it was a little bit easier because I know the field, I know the area, so it was a pretty smooth transition.
Yeah, and just in terms of playing baseball down there, I interned for a team there for Harwich about a few summers ago. Been going to the Cape League baseball games for as long as I can remember. Obviously you have the perks of being one of the best vacation spots in the whole country during the summer, but just what's different about playing there? Because typically everyone who's playing on a team is one of the best players of whatever college they came from.
Yeah, I mean it's a bunch of college all-star teams, and when you're playing with those guys, you have to elevate your game. So there's times when you do struggle because you're facing the best, but it all makes you better as a player. I don't think anyone who comes here and plays in this league will tell you that they didn't get better at baseball by being here. And aside from the baseball, it's just a really cool environment. When you think about America's pastime, this is it. There's so many surreal moments when you're standing in that field, you look around and like Cape Cod baseball is the definition of America's pastime. And it's something that, when you see baseball in the movies, this is what it looks like.
Definitely, yeah. It must make it more special. You take to the plate, and you're standing at the same plates that guys like Aaron Judge, Chris Bryant, Evan Longoria. I could go on forever. Even Kyler Murray played in the Cape Cod Baseball League. I don't know if you knew that, but a few summers ago. So just take me through the process of choosing the University of Oregon, and what you're excited about going there for.
Yeah. University of Oregon really impressed me through the recruiting process with what they do offensively, how they can develop me as a hitter, how they can develop me defensively. Going into this new, going into a new school, I wanted to look for a place where, one, I had the ability to win a national championship, and two, just somewhere that I thought could best develop me as a player on both sides of the ball. And so Oregon really impressed me on that. And then from an academic and campus side, it's beautiful. It's on the West Coast. The facilities are beautiful. The school is beautiful. There's a long history of winning in many sports. And so between the coaching staff, the development, and the campus, it became a really easy decision. They've done a great job with Canadians as well, which is something that isn't a deal breaker, but it's a great added bonus. So I was really impressed with everything, and Oregon became a no-brainer.
Yeah, those definitely sound like factors that will make you very successful. It's definitely a school I've wanted to see. Just over the years with football games, they kind of do aerial coverage of what the campus looks like, and it looks really awesome. You must be excited, though. I know what happens with the football team with the new uniforms every week. But I bet Nike will be taking care of you guys with the apparel for baseball. So my last question is just this next year. The summer's going to end soon. I know there's still a month left technically in summer, but you're going to go back to college soon. What do you want to accomplish in this next year?
Yeah, I think through my college career as a baseball player, there's been ups and downs, and this year I really just want to have fun and enjoy the game. I think no matter how good you are, one day you have to stop playing. And I don't want to take that for granted. I get to play a child's game every single day at a high level. And even on the days when I don't think things are going my way, there's someone out there who would die to be in my position. And that's just kind of the perspective I'm trying to have going into this year. And, work as hard as I can, try and win a national championship, but, try and have fun because I think all those other things start to come together when you just enjoy playing the game. So I'm not going to put too much pressure on the numerical stats or the draft or any of those things that you can get caught up in if you spend too much time on social media or looking at the wrong things. I just want to focus on enjoying my time on the field.
Yeah, it sounds like a great mindset to me. I think just enjoy it will help take care of the other things. Owen, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll stay in touch, and good luck at Oregon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, have a good one.